The more beginners that I work with that have failed products, the more often I see the same product research mistakes being made that are leading to these failed products. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the 5 most common mistakes beginners don't even know they're making so that hopefully you can avoid following in their footsteps. But first, my name is Crescent, and if this is our first time meeting, welcome to my channel. My passion is sharing tips and strategies on how you can create a successful Amazon FBA private label business. So if you enjoy videos like this, or especially if you've been around my channel, consider subscribing. All right, let's get started. All right, so one of the biggest mistakes that beginners are making is using the wrong broadest keyword when they're doing product research to analyze a niche. It's very important that when you analyze niches that you choose the shortest and most relevant and broadest keyword that describes the product and the niche that you want to analyze. And what compounds this issue is when beginners are asking for help and they're posting screenshots of their product research data from the Chrome extension tools such as Jungle Scout, most of the time the category and the products are redacted. So coaches and mentors like myself aren't able to determine if you've used the correct keyword or not to help you or point out if you've made a mistake. For example, if we jump over to my community forums on Facebook, which is Amazon Beginner Mastery, and if you're not already joined, you should. There's tons of valuable content on there and I answer every single question. So if we jump on there and take a look at some of the posts from the members, you can see that when they post screenshots, the category and product name is redacted. And you can see that here. And this is pretty commonplace because people are trying to keep their product ideas a secret. So if they use the wrong keyword, there's no way for someone like myself or anyone else trying to help to know if you've used the wrong keyword. All we have to look at is the data that you're presenting. And I'll show you an example of how this can affect your product research and be detrimental and potentially lead you to a bad product idea. All right, so if we jump onto Amazon and take a look at the can opener niche, can opener is the shortest and broadest and most relevant keyword phrase that describes this entire product category of can openers. And if we pull up the Jungle Scout data, you can see here that the reviews shows that this niche is extremely competitive. All the top listings here have thousands of reviews, all right? And you can see here that the monthly sales is also really consistent. All the top listings have several thousand sales per month, all right? Take notice of that. So now if we take a look at the stainless steel manual can opener sub niche, which is far more long tail and specific, the same products show up in the search results, okay? But if we look at the data, you can see right away that the number of reviews is significantly less. And reviews is how we base how competitive a niche is. And take a look at this opportunity score here. It suddenly says it's medium demand with low competition. And again, if we go back to the correct search term, which is can opener, it says it's high demand, high competition. And you want to avoid niches with high competition. So this is how if you use the wrong keyword and the data looks like it's good and passes all the product research criteria, you can get into a product thinking that it has high demand and low competition when in reality it doesn't. Because once you launch the product, you're actually competing against the broader set of sellers in the can opener niche, not the smaller subset of stainless steel manual can openers. Another way you can verify this is if you jump over to Keyword Scout, which is a powerful keyword research tool in Jungle Scout, and it's part of the web app subscription. So if you already have a web app subscription on Jungle Scout, you already have access to the Keyword Scout tool. So if we jump on there and take a look at can opener, you can see that can opener has a monthly search volume of 103,000 searches per month. And if we did a search for stainless steel manual can opener, there's no results. So no one searches for the long tail phrase stainless steel manual can opener. All right, and the next issue is not looking at the correct listings in the Chrome extension when you're analyzing the data. It's super important that you do not include the sponsored ads when you're analyzing the niche. So for example, if we're looking at this baby diaper caddy category, and this is a bad product, so don't do it. You can see here that on the top of the search results, there's a few sponsored ads here, and they're labeled sponsored. These are paid advertisements from sellers through the PPC campaigns, and there's several on a page. So there's 2 at the top there, and several more farther down the page. As you can see here, it says sponsored. Okay, so when you're doing product research, if you don't use a product research tool, which I don't recommend you do product research without one, you need to make sure that you're not including these sponsored ads while you're doing product research. You need to only analyze the organically ranked listings, okay? So if we pull up the Jungle Scout data, you can see here that the sponsored listings are labeled SP. There's the 2 there and several more down the page. Okay, now if you have the Jungle Scout Lite version, these sponsored ads are removed by default. But if you have the Pro version, by default they're displayed. But what I recommend is actually turning them off. And you can do that by going into the options here, click on columns, and then turn it off there. All right, so as you can see now, the sponsored ads have been removed. Only the organically ranked listings are displayed. And here's another mistake that I see a lot of beginners making, and I think it's because they're taking this removing the sponsored ads too literally. Now, like I said, you have to analyze the organically ranked listings. So if a sponsored listing also happens to be on the first page organically, you can't remove the organically placed listing, only remove the sponsored one. And here's an example. You can see here that this baby diaper caddy nursery diaper tote bag, they have a sponsored ad here. But you'll also notice they're #1 organically ranked here. So you do not remove this one. You have to include this one as part of your data analysis. Okay? Same with the second one. These guys have an ad at the top too, and they're also the second organically placed listing. So both of these need to be included while you're doing product research. What I see a lot of beginners do is they'll remove those two and they'll see those two are sponsored, so they'll also remove it from here. And you can't do that because these two listings are actually going to be competitors in this niche, and you have to include them because they're organically ranked. Here's another example, camping hammocks. You can see this Wise Owl is a sponsored ad, but they're also the second organically ranked listing here. So you need to ignore these two sponsored ads, but you need to include this one as part of your data analysis. Do not remove them from the list. You need to include them in your data analysis. Removing them can affect the results of the data you're seeing. For example, the average sales and the average reviews. If you remove Wise Owls, look at the opportunity score. It's a 4 right now, and if I remove them, you can see that it affected it, and it's affecting the results here. So you got to make sure you're including all the organically ranked listings, but only removing the sponsored ones. And here's another example. They don't need to be in the top 2 spots either. This Pocono Boy one, they have a sponsored ad here, but they're actually the third organically ranked listing. It doesn't matter where the organic listing is, you need to include it in your data analysis. Now, along the same lines of removing listings, when you're doing product research in a niche, if we're looking at this watermelon ball niche, you need to only analyze the listings that are related to this watermelon ball. You need to remove the listings that aren't related. They might have just been placed there because in the wrong category or the seller included the incorrect keywords. So for example, if we scroll down, you can see here's a watermelon cutter. It's not related to a watermelon ball, so you need to remove that from your data analysis. Same with this pool and this unicorn inflatable pool float. Okay, an easy way to do that is look at the Jungle Scout Chrome extension and take note of what happens at the summaries up here. When you highlight each one, it's going to give you a preview of what it is. So you kind of go down real quick, and if you see a product that's unrelated, like this one, hit the X. Okay, and you can see it's updating at the top because it's affecting the results. So if you go down and find the ones that aren't related, like this pool, remove it. And remove it. Now the remaining listings are the ones you need to analyze. All right, and one product research method that I see a lot of beginners use is relying only on the headers that you see up here. And I preach in all of my product research videos that you cannot base your data analysis solely on what you see in these averages and the opportunity score up here. These can be drastically inaccurate. So for example, you can see that the opportunity score here says that it's in high demand with low competition. But if I manually scan down the monthly sales column, I can see immediately that sales is very inconsistent, and the majority of them are only selling around 50 units or less a month. The only reason that it's saying high demand is because it's taken an average. An average means they summed up all of the sales and divided it by the total number of listings to get the average monthly sales of 316. But that's not the case. The bulk of the sales is only by this seller, and this seller. And so those 3 listings have artificially raised the average of this entire niche. If you remove these high sale listings, you'll see that the average is actually around 60 units a month. And you can verify that by actually removing them. So for example, if I remove this guy, and remove this guy, and remove this one, look how much dramatically that average has fallen, and even this one. Okay, so this is a more accurate representation of what the average sales velocity is for this niche. That's why you can't rely on just looking at the opportunity score to determine if this is a good product idea or not. You have to actually manually look at the sales volume of each listing, and the same applies for the reviews. A few listings that have very high or very low reviews or sales can throw off these averages. All right, and last, I want to touch on a data set that I don't see anybody else teaching or talking about. And I've found that is very helpful in making the data that you see more reliable. So for example, if we take a look at this full face snorkel mask, and again, this is a bad product too. All the ones that I've shown you in this video are bad, don't do them. This one is actually patented. If we pull up the AMZ Scout Chrome extension, this tool is so powerful because it quickly and easily shows you the age of each listing. So if we take a look here, we can see that almost half of these listings are brand new, meaning they're less than 3 months old. So at the time of filming this video, which is in the beginning of June 2019, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of the top 25 listings here are new within the last couple months. And the problem here is if you analyze this niche using the sales data that you see here to determine if the sales velocity meets your target sales criteria, you can be looking at artificially inflated sales numbers. And this is because new listings are generally doing an aggressive product launch and are generating artificial sales through giveaways, promotions, and aggressive PPC. So the sales they're generating may not be completely organic. So in my opinion, you have to take their sales with a grain of salt. And to prove my point, let's take a look. This listing here that's only been around for just over a month, they're selling at 1,300 units per month, 1,400 units per month, 700 units per month, 500, 1,200 units per month. Okay, you can see that these sellers, they're brand new. They're able to sell thousands of units per month and they're brand new listings. So in my opinion, the traction they're getting may not be organic. It could be artificially inflated sales. So in my opinion, you need to be more careful here. So you should remove them from your data analysis so you can see what the overall picture of the sales velocity is without them included. So for example, if I remove these ones, now you can see that this is more of a true representation of what the organic sales velocity is of each month. And it's drastically changed now because those listings that had thousands of reviews aren't there. All right, I hope you found these tips helpful. And hopefully they'll help you avoid getting into bad product ideas now that you know what to do and what not to do while you're doing product research. And again, if you haven't joined our community forums on Facebook, you totally should. I'll leave a link in the video description below. And if you're wondering about Jungle Scout or AMZ Scout, you can totally try them out. They both have trial versions for you, and I'll leave links in the video description below with coupon code so you can save some money should you decide to purchase them. All right, thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And to make sure you never miss a video, be sure to click that bell icon to turn on notifications. There's also a link in the video description below to our community forums, which you should totally join. And if you're looking for more tips and strategy videos, click or tap over here. And as always, thanks for watching.